So thank you to those who have watched part 1 of Edwin's journey. If not, I'll leave a link up here. I think it's I think it's on this side. And do watch part 1 of Edwin's journey. So Edwin, he is a xianfeng, which is a forerunner. His job is very important to a xindua, and the xindua he belongs to is called Yizi Feng Xuan Dian. It's a xindua located in Kim Tien Road in Singapore, and his main god of worship is the北极真武玄天上帝. So his role, like I said, is very, very important as xianfeng, which is the forerunner, to announce the arrivals of the deities, to secure perimeters, to perform recons, and to sanctify the area before the deity embarks on his yuging or tour of the surrounding area as well as the temple. So Edwin like to share with our viewers today in part 2 is that it's not all happy and fun and feeling all gung-ho with being able to crack that huatso, or being xianfeng, a little bit great boost for the ego, a little bit haolian or something like that. But he said there are times when he really feels like giving up. So, because people come and go, it's really hard to retain sometimes members as well as, in terms of the younger generation in the xindua. And sometimes he just feel that, he just wants to have fun and spend time, doing other things besides, 24/7, investing a lot of time and energy into managing the xindua. With time and with age as well, he always feels that, why can't people fully cooperate with each other, and endure, each other within the xindua. So sometimes that might be, arguments, and being young and hot-headed, people might storm off and not come back and leave, the members and rest of them hanging. And Edwin just feels that why can't people just get along, for once. He said that, that this is his responsibility. He wants to, as he has agreed to take on this huge baggage of, managing all these things, being the xianfeng, he can't back out now. So his next step forward is to look for a bigger success in being a xianfeng, as well as the success of his xindua. So there are a lot of things to learn and to train, and younger kids might not have the the energy or brain power, even he might not have a lot of patience. Kids might not have patience to actually endure the whole training process, or even setbacks as well. So he might make a mistake, and his dad or the older seniors might tell him off. Edwin just picks himself right up again, and invests all his time and energy to learn all the things, or the going-ons behind in the back end of running a xindua, as well the back end of a yuging or any festivals. So he also mentioned that all the language used in the xindua, in the incantations, and the summoning of the deities, and using huatso and things like that, it's all in the Hokkien form. Yeah. And Chinese words are provided. So, you know, I'm struggle street in Chinese. I'll probably struggle street in Hokkien, even though I can understand it. But to translate Hokkien from a written Chinese text, oh no, like no way. I don't think I can do this, but Edwin can. So 100 kudos and 1,000 claps for him, because this is something I can't do. And sometimes even worse, like translating Chinese text to Cantonese when you go karaoke. Not for me too, but Edwin can do. So Edwin could translate written Chinese text into Hokkien, and you know what? No English or Hanyu pinyin is actually even allowed. So good job, Edwin. Like kudos to you for someone so young wanting to do something like this and carry on, that journey. And being so determined, and he said that he must learn the words, the Hokkien, and remember every phrase correctly and carefully, and also not only memorizing blindly, but Edwin also tries to understand what every phrase he's saying and what he does means, which is really, really important. So, I asked Edwin, just being, that right, he's so young, whether is it hard, juggling a double life, kids these days, they want to go or be seen like at the hottest pub, I don't know, hanging out at Iron Orchard and going to Food Republic, to stuff their face, or having those huge beer towers. I've never seen that before. We don't actually quite have that here in Australia, but those beer towers are pretty cool. And I think that's the beer tower, but you can have it Milo Peng. So next time when I'll go to Singapore, I'm going to have one of those Milo Peng beer towers. But Edwin says, just because he's young, he's also up, with the trend and all these things that he wants to do. It's actually quite hard leading a double life. So him, being just a person and being a child for his parents, friends and family, but also juggling being a xianfeng in the Xintua. So when he was small, he keeps thinking that if he goes to Xintua, then he doesn't need to go to school. So he ponteng school, naughty boy, Edwin. But till now he still goes to Xintua, and goes to work and finishes his school, and he cultivates that good habit. And also he said that he's really lucky that he's met a really good boss who's really understanding and allows him to go on all his religious responsibilities and service to his Xintua. So here we say thank you and kudos to Edwin's boss, whoever you are. And almost every time, he rain, shine, sick, or tired, Edwin will be there, and you'll see him at the front end of the Xintua in every possible way. And what Edwin says, and he thinks that if God can help people, can help the devotees, the believers, the worshippers, then why not him can help God too, to cultivate and gain merits, which is a very good deed. So he thinks that if God can help people, he can help God as well. So good job, Edwin, for juggling a double life, and dedicating all his time and effort, brain power, physical power and mental capabilities into doing the good stuff for his Xintua as well as for玄天上帝. So I've also asked Edwin what are the other challenges that he's faced. So he said, maybe in other people's eyes, when they see him, they go like, wow, he's so young leh, whether he can or not, is he professional? Actually, thanks for letting me practice my Singlish so I could use it when I go back home. And it's easy for him to say, people, look at him, he's another baby face, and they go, oh, probably cannot trust him lah. He's so young, can or not, he's xianfeng, maybe he can't do this or that. But you know what? Edwin says that, he still tries his best. He gives his 110% to every single job that he's being assigned to do. So it doesn't mean, what they know or what they don't know. It doesn't mean that, what they know, what they don't know, it wouldn't classify him as a lousy person or lousy 先锋, you know. And so he says, you know, each 先多 each other, that we're supposed to support each other, you know, we have to give each other face, and, you know, not pull each other down and make them, you know, like a 下垂, you know, in public, so lose your face or very hard to face public or things like that. So he, you know, lifts each other up and the other 先多, the other 先锋, up in the pedestals, and they do the same for him as well. And, you know, he doesn't feel, you know, being special or anything, you know, he doesn't put himself out there and being a little bit like show off. He does, you know, everything that's right, maintain the true integrity of how it is being a 先锋 for his 先多. He also says that, you know, everyone in the role, or be a 先锋 or any other role that you play in the 先多, they all have the same goal. So as Edwin has the same goal, and he just, you know, that goal is to make sure that every single event, to be a yuging, a feast day, or just even a like a consultation session with 玄天上帝, the event will actually go smoothly, and everyone's, you know, the other members in the 先多 and other 先多s all have the same joint role as Edwin. So the other question I've asked Edwin is, you know, do you think whether, you know, more and more younger generation seeing younger people who immerse themselves in the 先多 world, would they actually, you know, want to join in? Some people join 先多 for wrong reasons, and some do for the right ones, just like Edwin, who wants to do good and you know, raise up the standard of the 先多, as well as to you know, get rid of stereotypical mindset that evolves around, you know, Taoism, Taoist folk religion, spirit mediumship, as well as what 先多 is. So for him, Edwin says it's a little bit hard to say, because nowadays people, you know, come and go. You know, they won't be loyal to standardize, you know, just one 先多. They might be jumping around different 先多s, which is actually quite bad. Like for me, like I think you should actually dedicate yourself to that one particular 先多. So much, you know, effort, a lot of work goes into the preparation, you know, even to lay out the offerings is a huge thing to do, because you got to go marketing, you got to cook for it, you know, you got to prepare the flowers, change the flowers, you know, offer the tea, water, light the yuding, which is the oil, so that you can the oil that keeps burning, so that you can light incense and things like that. There's a lot of things going around. It's almost like a 24/7 type of job, you know, he you know, he thinks that, you know, you should, for him, he's a very loyal person. He only sticks to one 先多, but there are others who, you know, would jump around and go from one 先多 to another. So he really hopes that you know, the young generation would jump on, you know, the 先多 bandwagon. You know, can start small like him. He started from the bottom. And it's good to, you know, gain that experience as well, and to ask Edwin for, you know, advice and guidance if you like to join a 先多. So you can start from, you know, just beating the gongs or drums, even the simple, you know, like little incantations you can learn. So he really hopes that the younger generations will jump on the bandwagon and join him, and join people in the 先多community, as well as to strengthen that duty and assist, you know, the older generation who would retire out of the 先多, and the younger generation could inject more life and more energy to the 先多, and to you know, spread out and go and get the word around that, hey, you know, it's actually not that bad. You know, don't have that stereotypical mindset that only bad people like gangsters and delinquents or people who can't, you know, even hold a job would join and hide in the 先多, you know, so no one could find them. It's not about that. Edwin, you know, he's got down to birth all these things. He's gone to school, he's got a job, amazing boss who supports him all the way. He could still his head, you know, he could still hold his head high. He belongs to the 先多, and, you know, he's more so a 先锋 that commands the respect of all those who are around him. So, you know, last but not least, Edwin has also mentioned that he believes that not everyone's perfect. everyone's got a past, even, myself, we all have, some issues or things that we want to put at the back of our minds and want to move on and things like that. So, so he says, why not give everyone a chance to change and to be a better person? And sometimes joining a Sintwa, having that, something like a guidance or a repetition in life, or a support core could actually do well for a person who might, if not joining one of these Sintwa communities or things like that, could go fall on the wayside. So Edwin thinks that, everyone has a past. Why not, we just have to give everyone a chance, listen to the story and give them a chance to change. They might be a gangster in other people's eyes, but to Edwin, they are just people needing a chance, need actually to be given a chance to change and to do good. So, if they really a hooligan out there, loitering around in Geylang or a gangster of some sort, why must people might think that, oh, why must they're doing these sort of bad things, they can't let God come into their bodies or let God come into their lives. Actually, that God who will come into their lives, like Hsien Tian Tang Di, in terms of that, will be able to help them to be a better person and teach them to actually think wisely and to do good things. So it's actually not a bad thing. I honestly think that if I need to find some regularity in my life, or I need to actually do something that gives me a purpose or a sense of hope. If I could, I'll join a Sintwa, but there's no Sintwa here in Australia. But if I go in anytime soon and go back to Singapore, I might join a Sintwa. So Edwin, don't forget about me. So thanks for watching or listening to me jibber jabber and ramble on in part 2. Like I said, if those have not watched part 1, Edwin's story, the link is here. I'll leave it here again. But thanks for watching part 2. And after speaking, doing Edwin's story, I have so much more bigger respect to those who work on the back end to make the front end look good.
Sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your mentions, musta heard around. How that sound, yeah that sound good, tell them break it down. ISO Wendy's in your town, don't forget the $sign. How that sound, yeah that sound good, tell them get in line. Hold it down, came up from the underground. Ayy, tried to play me back then, but you learning now. Do not play with fire, you be burning out. It's like butter, baby butter, when I churn it out. They gon' talk behind your back until you turn around. 360, I'm on preheat, I be baking all the good. Chef Curry hit my shimmy, throw it up at half court. Tryna beat me, bet you can't, you would do it if you could. ISO to the indies, now you got it understood. Yeah, sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your mentions, musta heard around. How that sound, yeah that sound good, tell them